Hi, my name is Sabina Sarbu, and I'm an entrepreneur from Romania based in Canada. I used to run a web agency, and that's when I actually first met Daniel, working together inside of a business group. And since then, I've been focusing on doing recruiting for other agencies and entrepreneurs. And when Daniel first came to me with this idea and explaining to me what this AI program was about, I what wasn't sure that I fully understood it, to be honest, but just because I know that he's so passionate about all the projects that he does, and he spoke so highly about the results that he's had doing this implementation for himself. I, jumped in head first, and I fully believed and thought for sure I'm going to get some value out of this, and I really did. So at first, I had to do a lot of questions, and it took a lot of time, and that was maybe the most challenging. Is like being more self disciplined to carry out what seems like a lot of ongoing input that you have to give, like a lot of input, and it can get really boring if you're someone like me who gets a little bit of ADHD. But afterwards, the the feedback and the results that I've had have been really cool. So one thing on personal level, that's kind of where I saw the value right away. Let's say, um, of course, it's not meant like it's meant for the AI to know much more about you and to understand you fully. So while it's not meant to replace therapy, it can be a great complement when you're not in therapy or when you're not with your therapist in that moment and you want to ask something and say, I'm feeling this. What could be the reason? Or the journaling agent that he also has created that is super helpful to analyze your thoughts, at the end of the month or your experiences. And then on a professional standpoint, it's been really cool because sometimes I'll ask it something professionally and then I'm surprised by the responses that it gives me, that because it knows more about me, right? So, for example, the other day I had asked it to create a good morning routine for me. I'm not a morning person at all. And I also tend to guilt myself or feel really guilty if I don't achieve something. So rather than giving me like a generic, here's a plan for you or something that tends to work with most people, it gave me a very personalized, routine. Also identifying the fact that I tend to guilt myself sometimes, and kind of here's what you should do on the days that you don't achieve it, because of course nobody's perfect. You're not going to do it every day, and it's already like preempting things that it knows that you might stumble upon, because in the end of the day, like it honestly knows you better than you know yourself. So that was really cool. So I think that anyone who's curious about becoming more productive, anyone who's curious about AI, because out of this course we also got really cool tools out of it. I learned to connect Notion with Claude, which seems super basic right now, but it's something that these skills that I learned also helped me optimize my work. I also started using Whisperflow, which is an amazing tool that Daniel recommended to us. It's really a game changer. And yeah, I think if you're curious about AI and if you're curious about getting to know yourself more, this is something that you should definitely do. And I believe that obviously we want to be cautious with AI, but it's here to stay. So why not get ahead and be one of the first adopters rather than, kind of being scared of it. So yeah, definitely recommend if you can join the next session or the next group of students, definitely go for it.